All right, CNT120 Network Design Lab. We are working on making our network diagram, the network map of the devices we're going to use to connect up this site. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to at least get the map started. So we'll go over here to I have my network design folder. I'm going to go to draw.io. We have this connected from the Chapter 2 lab, so we're just going to turn right around and use it. I'm going to do a blank diagram, and I'm going to put up here, for me, I'm going to call it demo, because this is what I'm using for podcasts, but I'll do CNT120, network design, and I'll call this my map. That way I know network design map. Actually, I'll put in there network design lab map. There we go. Now I know that's what that is. We'll say create. We should get our drawing space. And we're going to need to connect up this site. We have some computers, IP phones that we're going to connect up and back to the corporate office. So one of the first things we're going to put in here, you can create, come on now, you can do it. We're going to, here we go. I have to, okay, here we go. You can do it. Come on, come on. You might need to do the same on yours if you haven't already. There we go. Okay. You can do it. Now we're up and running. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put on here the internet or the cloud, if you will. There we go. So I will do a search over here for, I'll call it Cisco Cloud, just like we did for our lab. And let's have, we're going to grab this over. Actually, I'll use the one that's kind of, using that was fine. Here we go. And we'll give this a ISP label. And that way we know that's the ISP connection. This is most likely going to connect to our main router at the site. So I'll put in here Cisco router. And actually, if I pick this correctly, we're just going to grab our basic router symbol. Up here, I'm going to scroll up to where we have some of our notes. In here, if we select our router carefully, it could serve as, in here, a DHCP server as well as the phone service for the branch, and maybe even the firewall for the company too, if I select my router carefully. So in here, this router is going to be the pivotal piece to connect this out to the ISP. All right, my line is doing zigzag, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do the straight line, and I'm going to get rid of that arrow. And I'm now going to say set that as default style. That way all the lines on my plan will be straight. I'm going to give this a label of we'll call it the ISP router, if you will. Actually, no, we'll call it just call it a router at this point. We'll plug in here some details later, model number and so forth. But I'll put a note in here. This is going to act as our DHCP as well as our IP phone server for the site. Okay, and maybe even the firewall. So when we go to pick that out later, we'll know to be looking for those features. Well, that is now going to connect. We have all of our devices that need to connect, so they're going to connect to a switch. So I'll come over here and I'll do Cisco switch, and I'm going to look for just the basic Cisco switch icon like we used in our Chapter 2 lab. The basic workgroup switch. Keep going. There it is right there. Real basic workgroup switch, and I will connect the router and the switch together like so. And again, I will put in here Cisco, actually I'll put in router, I'll put in switch, and I'll put a note here of, we want to figure out how many devices are going to connect. So if I look through here, we have the manager office, looks like it has one PC and phone we're going to connect in. Well, we're going to learn that if I pick my phone carefully, the PC can plug into it. So we're going to have one network drop connected in, but there needs to be two, one for future, if you will. So there'll be two network drops there. We have 4 offices with 2 network drops. So there's 8 more, so we're up to 10 drops. I'm going to keep going. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It looks like we have about 20 drops in here. So I'm going to make a note in here that we need at least, okay, I'll go down here. We have 20 devices connecting. So this is probably going to be a 24-port switch. That'll be kind of our starting point, and we'll have that note for later. That'll save us some counting later. Well, we now want to put these different parts of our plan, in place. So if I look at offices 1, 2, 3, and 4, I think offices 1, 2, 3, and 4 have a computer and phone. So let's start getting those in there. I'm going to grab, let's do Cisco PC, and we'll grab the PC icon. We need a PC, and we're going to need phones. We're going to do Cisco phone, and we're going to grab the IP phone one right here. All right, in a business environment, we're most likely going to connect the phone to the switch and the computer to the phone. That's typically what's going to get done, and if we configure the switch, it'll understand that we're doing this. There's some config we can do, and we'll see that when we get to the packet tracer part of our lab. So let's label this guy here. We'll label this IP phone for now, and let's label this guy, you know, we want to have this be room 101, because that'll be the first one, room 101, and this is office 1, if you will. Office 1, and we'll just say PC kind of thing. So that would be the first room and first office. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here to our map, and let's work our way right down the hallway. So let's be smart. Let's copy this. We'll go Control C and then Control V. Let's paste it on, and we're going to call this, let's label this room, get out of here. Let's label this room 102, office 2, and we'll connect this guy in. And we're just going to move right down the hallway and paste in these other rooms, 103, 104. Let's do it again, paste. Let's do a paste. Oops, get out of here. So we'll do room 103, office 3 kind of thing. And then we'll do 104. Office 4. And we'll connect these in. And we're just going to keep going down the hallway till we get all these rooms. And we can neaten this up later. There's room 104, office 4. 105 is manager's office. Let's paste another one in. And we'll call this room 105, manager office. And then we have over here, let me zoom in a little bit. 106 is the IT closet. That's where all the equipment's going to go. We'll do 107 printer room. Okay, so 107 printer room. Let's get a printer over here. There we go. We'll plug this in. We'll set him off to the side. Let's label him room 107 printer room, because we know that's going to connect in, and that literally is going to go right into a switch port. Okay, so that is good there. We have 108 IT admin office, so let's grab another one of these. We're going to plop this in here. We need 108 IT admin office. There we go. And then we also have the meeting room, and I believe the meeting room just has a single phone. I believe that's what's in the meeting room. So we're going to do just a single phone. I will just copy this, and I will paste that. I'm going to slide this over here, and I will put a label under here of this is room 108 meeting room, because they might use that for, you know, conference calls kind of deal. All right, so I would take a minute and just double check that I have all the rooms on here and all the quantities, but that's what we're going to do to get that started. Looks like I need to edit down here. It looks like that's a little odd. There we go, 104. Okay, and I might take a minute to even neaten these up, if you will. There's a 108, we'll fix that guy too. Okay, so there's the rooms on there. The other thing that's got mentioned is we need to have 2 access points for our network. So let's come over here and let's do Cisco access point. And we're going to grab this little icon here. That's our basic icon for an access point. And we'll do access point. And we are going to have two of these, so let's do this. Let's actually show both, because we'll probably end up putting one at each end of the hallway kind of deal. So I might even slide this one over here. So we're kind of representing the building. One on this end of the hallway, one on that end of the hallway. Here's the printer room. It's almost kind of like we have the building laid out. All right. That's the kind of thing, we'll scroll down here, that's the kind of thing we're doing for our network diagram. And again, the next page over here should have a map that looks very similar to what I'm doing right now. I would go through and double check that I have all the pieces. And actually, I think I have, this is 109. I need to fix this one over here. 109, there we go. The meeting room is 109. All right, take a minute, kind of neaten this up, make sure all the pieces are here. This is not done for submission yet. When we do the next part of our plan, when we start picking out equipment, we're going to come back here and put the model numbers on. So for right now, we're just going to save this and hold on to it. When we pick out our equipment, we'll come back and actually put the model number under each of these and maybe tweak our information. But this is the bulk of our network map that we'll hold on to for now. After we add the model numbers and get it complete, we will then do this process here where we will do file export as JPEG or PDF to submit to D2L. Just like you did your Chapter 2 lab. We would do a file export as JPEG or PDF to submit to D2L after we add the model numbers. So there's the network diagram portion of your network design lab.